This author not only lives in Tucson and writes here, she has also infused our community into her story. Kathleen Glasgow is here to talk about her debut novel, Girl in Pieces. Kathleen, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
And we were talking during the commercial break. I'm really happy that you took your own community and kind of infused it into the book and made it a part of it. Kind of tell me what the book is about.
The book is about 17-year-old Charlie Davis, and she's suffering from depression. And one of the ways that she copes with depression is to do what they call self-harm, which means to cut or to burn yourself as a way to cope with emotions that you don't feel comfortable verbalizing through words. Over 1 million girls ages 14 to 21 are currently self-harming in the United States, and it's on the rise in older women and college-age girls. And so it's really something that we should be having a national conversation about, why our girls are turning to this. And so I decided to write a book about it, partly based on my own adolescent experiences with it.
Okay, and so the character goes from St. Paul,
Right.
wants a fresh start and moves to Tucson, and then kind of finds like a new world or finds new
Right.
things in her life. So was that, like you said, a little bit of your own life? What kind of inspired you to put all of this into a book?
Well, I grew up in Tucson, and I love Tucson. I love all the eccentric characters that you meet here. There's such a vibrant, creative spirit here, and I also think that there's a really important healing component. Just being in the desert, I know it sounds a little cheesy, but the sunsets, you really do feel better. And I wanted to bring my character from the cold atmosphere of Minnesota to the warm atmosphere of Tucson so she could kind of experience that and fall in with a group of people who could support her creative dreams, because one of the ways that she copes with her depression is to draw.
Okay.
She draws her friends. This is her friend Ellis, and this is her friend Evan. And so her dream is to be an artist, and I felt like one of the perfect places to put Charlie where she might be able to achieve that dream was Tucson, which has such a great energy and a great creative spirit.
And I know this book has kind of been designated as, I guess, young adult as the genre. Is that what you who you thought would be the audience for this book when you first started?
I did, but the book is also, it's becoming quite a crossover hit. Like a lot of adults are reading. I'm getting a lot of emails from older women and college-age girls and teachers and librarians who are telling me, I didn't have this when I was growing up. I didn't suffer from what Charlie suffers from. But you really tapped into something for me. I felt this isolated and lonely as a girl and as a woman, and this book just emotionally broke me. Thank you for writing this book. So even if you haven't suffered severe depression, I can guarantee you'll find yourself somewhere in this book and in one of the characters.
Is that maybe one of your favorite things about being an author, is maybe touching others? Is that one of the things that you probably love about this?
Yes, it took 9 years to write the book. I had 2 babies while I was doing it, and babies in general don't like to have writers as parents, so that's why it took so long.
Yeah.
But because I became a parent halfway through writing the book, my perspective on the adults in the novel changed. And so I think that they're very well-rounded, and you can see their flaws, but you can also see how they're trying to help the younger people in their lives through troubling circumstances.
And I know I read a couple of reviews about the book, and I know that some people had made a similarity to Girl Interrupted.
Right.
Did you feel flattered by that kind of
Oh,
similarity?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, Girl Interrupted, it was one of the books that really spurred me to become a writer. It was one of the first books that I read where it was talking about what it really felt like to be a girl in the world, and how sometimes the world doesn't quite value you for your dreams and your intelligence, but tries to put you in a narrow box. And I think it's really important to talk about what we're doing to our young women these days by telling them, you can't do this, you can't dress this way, you have to act this way. And part of what happens to Charlie in the book is because of those societal constraints.
I think that you said it perfectly, and I think it's an amazing thing to be, like you said, to kind of be compared to that, because it does have that same kind of, you know, girl power, kind of letting yourself be who you want to be, tone to it. Now that we have this book, it's out, everyone's reading it, everyone's loving it. Are you working on something already post this book?
I signed a 2-book contract, so the second book is due sometime next year.
Okay.
And I'm excited about that. I'd like to go back to Girl Power, because we're wearing our Girl in Pieces.
Yes, we are.
Girl Power bracelets that say Girl in Pieces and Positively Angelic, which is one of the phrases that a character uses in the book. And so, there you go.
There we go.
It's very much a book about girl power, and there's a lot of humor in the book and a lot of hope and a lot of healing. So I don't want readers to think, oh, that's going to be such an emotional book to read. It has a lot of humor, a lot of healing. And I do want to say that I saw a picture of Frenchie in the green room.
Yes.
And Greece plays a major part in the book. It's a major subplot.
Oh my gosh, it's got many layers to it. And I know I'm going to tell everybody about where they can see you locally and get their book signed, but will you also be traveling outside of Arizona?
I will. I'll be touring for the book nationally, so I'll be in Savannah, Nashville, Chicago, and LA, and some other cities will be added later on.
Well, I want to, Kathleen, first say thank you for making Tucson a part of your book. We mentioned during the commercial break we think more people should do that because of the wonderful aspects here. But also thank you for sitting down. Good luck, and please come back when the second book is out.
Thank you very much.
Oh, absolutely. Now you can meet Kathleen at her book signing taking place September 23rd at 7 p.m. at Antigone Books. For more details, visit her website, KathleenGlasgowBooks.com.